So this afternoon, we're jumping right back into OVO implementation time, y'all. Mike is going to walk us through each piece of OVO, including setting up, ultimately, your products for sale and your checkout. It's going to be awesome.
All right. So I'm actually going to be working out of my app instead of Brendan's this time. So I'm going to just, you guys are already here, but I'm going to go ahead and throw those placeholders in here. You'll see how fast I can do this. OVO, boom. We have a traffic source. Should only take a second. Website, OVO landing page. Goal, I'm just playing catch up here. Goal, here's our OVO opt-in. And then sequence, which is going to be our video 1 delivery. And I know you have your video 2, video 3, etc. I'm going to just start with our video 1 because we're going to end up cloning those over. All right. So here we go. Inside of this first sequence, there were a couple of things that we did. I know you guys may have dragged those out, but what's the first thing that we did in here? Did we put a timer, right? Yep. Yeah. And so I'm going to drag a timer out. And with Brendan's recommendation that I second, I think we're going to go and we'll do 20 minutes here. And it's going to be any day. And then the time that I select between is if you don't want to seem like you're sending emails out, if somebody opts in at like 2:30 in the morning for whatever reason, they're really engaged with your content, and you don't want an email to go out at 2:50 because that doesn't seem authentic per se, because you might not be up at that time, then you can wait until 8 a.m. the next day or whatever it is that you want to wait. I'm going to do 6 a.m. to 11:45 p.m. So they'll have to wait till the next day to get it if that's the case. And then we have our video 1 delivery. So this is where we left off. Timer email. It's our video 1 delivery email. So what we need to do inside of this, and you'll probably get in a rhythm here because it's not too different from the other campaign. The good news here is we have a starter template, right? And that's why Brendan had you pull out the Word document that was sent, which has all of the email content, because that's going to be our starting place when it comes to setting these emails up. So here's the cool thing. Once we build this first video 1 email out, it's going to get really easy to build the other emails out because we're just going to clone it and then change the content and you'll be good to go. So let's start though and build this first email out. If you're gonna keep a headline here, which I will, I'm gonna type it out to say, and I'm working right at the top of the email here, video 1 is ready for viewing, something like that. And then I'm gonna do all of the things that we did in the last email. I'm gonna come to layout and style. I'm gonna choose my simple style. Where's my simple? Down here further. There it is, simple. I'm also going to turn off my header and my footer. That's in the layout and style section as well. And then I'm going to delete and kind of start from scratch here. Now we already have the email content, right? So we don't have to start from scratch to type this out. I believe there's subject lines. Can you confirm that with me as well? There is, right? On that Word document or the printout that he has, are there subject lines there? Perfect. So what you'll want to do is make sure it's being sent from who you want these video delivery emails to come from. You'll also want to come into the subject line, and you can copy and paste if you have the Word document open right there, but we're doing video delivery email 1. So go ahead and grab that subject line and paste it in here. I'll put placeholders here. Insert video 1 subject line.
Just to reference where he is, y'all, it's that Word document sent last night, and the text for the launch autoresponders is there. It starts on page number 5, and the email subject line says thanks, capital letters, thanks, exclamation point. So email 1 confirmation after they opt in, video 1 link. So there's some text there. I know some of you are already been working on your own text, so you can punch that in right there. And
Yep,
that's what he's
perfect.
referencing. Page 5 of that document, if you haven't done it yet.
Yeah, so on page 5 there, you also have the body of the email, right? And so once the subject is put in, you want to go ahead and grab a paragraph snippet, drag it out into the body of your email, and then we're going to paste the content. And I'm just going to put insert body here, right? And so that content, there's a couple of things that you'll paste over that we'll have to make changes to when it comes to the content. Obviously, we need to link the call to action, which is an important thing, where it says click to watch the video. And Jeremy or Brendan, would one of you mind just forwarding me that document? It's my first name.last name @infusionsoft.com, so I can pop that up real quick. But you'll want to go ahead and copy and paste, and we're doing this right now. The implementation is happening right now. Make sure you're copying and pasting that in there. And then when you're looking through that content, you'll want to make sure that if there's any merge fields, for example, contact first name, that you want in there, or you want to add your own flair to it, just take a couple of seconds to read through that and make the voice your own, of course. Thank you. All right.
Is that what a PC looks like?
Sorry if I'm hurting your eyes. All right. Where's our email one here? Because I'm just going to do it so you guys can see the first email. I probably won't copy and paste all of them in, but I want to do one so that everyone can see it. All right. So we have our subject line, thanks. I'm going to come over and grab the thanks, like so. I'm doing control copy. I'm hopping over into the subject line, control paste. I have my body paragraph waiting. I'm hopping back over to the Word document. I'm grabbing first name all the way through. You can see where the link placeholder is, your name as well. I'm actually going to do up to talk soon. Don't grab your name because you probably already have your signature in Infusionsoft, and if not, you can add it underneath by manually typing it. Copy that. And we're going to paste that right into the body here, like so. Right? So now there's a couple of things we have to change, and this is important because if you don't make these changes, people are going to get delivered first name in their inbox, which is not appropriate, right? So we need to make that change to the merge field. So we're going to highlight first name, press delete. We're going to go up to where the merge button is, and we're going to merge in their first name because it's a different merge code than what we have in that placeholder text. So now we have their first name. And then the next area is the link. Excuse me. So you could potentially leave the word link there, but we probably want to give a little bit of a stronger call to action, right, to get them to go watch the video. So we would say something like, click here to watch, insert your video title there. So I don't have a video title, so I'm going to go ahead and just put click here to watch video 1. But know that video 1 represents whatever that video title is. And if you want to keep video 1 dash the name of your the name of the video, that's fine as well. So I'll just put a placeholder, video name. Right? And so now we have that email content in there, and at the bottom I have talk soon, and then I have my Infusionsoft signature that's being pulled in automatically. You can manually type in a little signature after talk soon if your signature isn't already there for you. So just know that you do have the option to build an Infusionsoft signature like I have, and that gets pulled into all of your emails by default if needed. All right. Yes, sir.
Because when we send an email to watch the video, we use a thumbnail to invite people to.
Yeah, so this is kind of a neat question. So he's looking to include a thumbnail image of the video, potentially, as a part of an email that he's sending. So not only can they click the link, but they can click on the little image, which maybe it looks like a YouTube player or a play button or something along those lines. You can absolutely insert an image, and I'm glad you brought this up because inserting an image inside of the builder is a hurdle for about the first 3 months of Infusionsoft that I didn't understand, and I'll explain why. It's because of how the snippet system works. How the snippets work is if I want to insert an image in the middle of this copy and pasted text, and I grab an image, and I try and put it in this text, you'll notice it either lets me put it at the bottom or at the top of the text, not in the middle. So if I try and drop it in the middle, watch here, I'll drop it. It's not going to go in the middle of the text. It's going to go either at the bottom or the top, which I think is what you're referring to. That's very frustrating because sometimes you want to wrap the text around the image that you need inside of your email. So what you'll do in that case is, and this is a really neat feature, I didn't know about it for the first 3 months I was an Infusionsoft user. Instead of taking an image snippet and dropping it inside of another snippet, that doesn't make sense conceptually. You just have to think about it a little bit of a different way. You're going to use what we call the Insert tab. And in our Insert tab, we have an image that you can insert. So the Insert tab is used to insert an image inside of another snippet, whereas using the actual image snippet, it's its own unique entity that you have to either put on top or below another snippet. That's how you use it. So if I wanted to put a thumbnail video right here, per se, I could click in, go to Insert Image. I could come down here. I'm an Arsenal supporter, so here's a video, for example, Arsene Wenger. And I could come down here and insert it. And this isn't a terrible strategy. I know we're trying to keep it plain and simple, but adding a thumbnail image might be something that you want to do if you're trying to potentially convert them to that page a little bit higher. So now you can kind of have an overview or an overlay, and that's just an image. I just took a screenshot of that little player there. I like how that looks personally. I agree with you. I like the little image, but you don't have to have that there. And you can link that image to the same page in the same place that we're going to link this. So I'll keep that there for example's sake, and you can swap that out if needed. All right. I'm moving kind of fast. Is everyone where I am? Raise a hand. Who's not where I am? All right. You guys are awesome. I love it. Let's keep the train rolling. So we have the content in there. The next thing that we need to do, and this is where we're going to start to integrate the WordPress aspect of it, and this is very logical. When they click that link to watch the video, we need to take them to the page in which that video stands, which I remember building yesterday with all of you. So we need to go ahead and grab that URL link, right? I know that if I come into the WordPress backend, we have our Francois is a rock star, value video 1. There he is. It's still true today, Francois. It's still true. So value video 1, when you click into the actual link, right here at the top, you can grab where it says permalink, the URL. By the way, you guys already have this saved on your Microsoft Word document, right, from yesterday? So pop up that document so you don't have to take as long as I'm taking right now because I don't have a Word document. But I'm going to copy that link for video 1, hop back into my OVO campaign, and I'm going to highlight where it says click here to watch video 1. I'm going to then click the link button, and this link button, like I said, is an important piece here. And then I'm going to paste that link in. Okay? Highlight the text that you want to link over, click the link button, and add the link. You'll see it changes into that blue hyperlink text when done correctly. I'm also going to hyperlink if you are going to use a thumbnail. It's the same thing. You click on the thumbnail image, and then you click link, and I'm going to redirect them to the same link. So that will take care of that for you. Fantastic. So now, whether they click the little thumbnail video or whether they click the actual call to action text link, it's going to end up at the video 1 page. Easy, right? That's all it is. So now we have our first email here. And remember, I know Brendan's copy is great. It's phenomenal. But there should be, in my opinion, a little bit of a tweak when it comes to your voice, right? You need to go in there, add the little tidbits about your video, about what it is they're going to learn, those types of things.
And that's important too, y'all, because what I gave you is just a skeleton, a wireframe, just a way to think about these emails. And you're welcome to use exactly the same text, but I would go in and say, yeah, how can I add my own voice? What more, like we talked about on day one, how can I make this even more intriguing or emotional or relevant to the specific person I'm trying to speak to? That's going to help these convert and perform a lot better for you. I know a lot of people say, I have no idea even how to start, so that's why I gave you those sample outlines and some sort of fill in the blanks to fill out. But spend some time thinking through these, because once they're up and running, I mean, we've had ones that run for a year, 2, 3, 4 years, and I never change them because they just work so good. So once you focus on it and it works well, that can run for a really long time, so do a good job.
So we're going to go ahead when we're ready. Remember, and this is a key piece that I've seen some people saying, why isn't it publishing correctly or whatnot? On the top right, when you are ready, make sure you do go draft to ready. Super important. And then we're going to go back to sequence. Your first email in this campaign is done, and really your first sequence. And if the timer is set and the email is set, that means the sequence is ready to be set from draft to ready as well. So right up here on the top right, don't forget your sequence. You're going to go draft to ready, and you're going to go back to campaign. Voila. You know what? There's one more thing that I want to add to this campaign just to spice it up a little bit. What's Emerald saying? Bam, right? We do need to add a tag in here. And I remember, Francois, you yelled that out when I said, what's the first thing we should do? I feel that we should tag people that they were delivered the videos when they were delivered the videos. So that way you can do a search and say, who are all the people that were delivered video 1, and very quickly find that tag. So what we're gonna do, and you can follow along with me, is remember, everything auto-saves in the campaign builder. So as I'm clicking around, you don't have to click save or anything like that. Every time you drag something out, it auto-saves. So we're gonna go back to list, zoom outside of the campaign, and we're gonna create a couple tags together. Excuse me. We're going to go into marketing settings. Or excuse me, I said marketing, CRM settings. CRM settings, where the tags live. We're going to go into our tags. And we are going to create a new tag, or really tags, plural. And it's just going to represent that we delivered these videos, right? So I might call this category, and I'm creating this category on the fly, OVO delivery, just like that in the category. And then the tags that I'm going to do are going to be video 1, comma, space, video 2. And please create these with me. You can come change the names of them later if you'd like. Video 3. And then the final video is going to be our sales video. Yeah, absolutely. We're building this in CRM settings and then tags. The category that you want to create in the other field is going to be OVO delivery. And then each of the tags are just going to represent each of the videos that we're delivering so that we can search when those are applied. Video 1, video 2, video 3, etc. Yes, sir?
And if the description is almost the same for each tag, you could write the description one time, and after that, correct the few letters you want to change in the description.
That is true. So description is helpful sometimes. I actually use the description in this tag area. I've kind of skimmed over it, but I use it to explain where these tags are being applied. A lot of the times I'll type something in here like OVO campaign tags that are applied when video emails are delivered. Something along those lines. That way I know when I look at this tag where the heck they exist in the system, because sometimes it can get pretty convoluted trying to find all those tags in a bunch of different places. How are we feeling over here? Good? We have those tags set up? All right. There will be eventually. I'm not going to create that one right now. That's probably a different category of tags called products purchased. So we would create a new category and put all your products into that tag. Yep. Great question, though. So we're going to add those tags, and then we're going to hop right back into the campaign builder. Marketing campaign builder, back into your OVO campaign. And the reason why I'm doing the tags now is because I'm about to clone this video sequence to video 2, video 3, video 4, and I don't want to have to drag another tag thing in each time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a tag. And I'm actually going to put it in the beginning again, like so. And we're gonna pull up our OVO delivery video 1. Save. Like so. So it's just like we added the tags in the other one. You want to add the tag into that sequence so that we can look at that search later of anyone who has gone through this particular sequence. So take just a moment and do that, and just give me some eye contact once the tags are installed. Yeah, of course.
For the wait, this is 20 minutes, and please forgive me if you already know this. Why did you choose 6 a.m. as opposed to 12 a.m.? Because what if somebody gets on at like 2 a.m.?
If somebody gets on at 2 a.m., I want the email that's sent, in this case, to feel authentic and not automated. So I don't want them to think that I'm up at 2:30. It's not as believable, right? People like automation. They don't like to feel like it's automated. Does that make sense? So it would, to me, sending an email at 2:50 a.m. is a little bit borderline between the authentic thing to do versus not. So that's the only reason why I chose 6 a.m. is in my time zone, 6 a.m. is realistic for me to be awake to respond. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So there's our tag. And this structure, tag, timer, email, is what we're going to go through in each of these. So I'm zooming back out to the 30,000 foot view. I did. In this tag right here, I dragged out the apply the tag. Remember how we created those video tags? So I did video 1. Yep, I pulled that one in. Yep, absolutely. Definitely want to be clear on that.
Sorry, can you say that one more time?
So in this video 1 delivery sequence, I'm applying the tag that they were delivered video 1. So as they come into the sequence, they're getting tagged, so I can then search for that list of people historically. I can go back to see who was delivered video 1. All right, are we ready to clone this and do video 2? All right. So there's a couple ways to clone. I've shown you the first way to clone already, which was to hold control and then drag and drop, right? There's another way to clone, and I'm going to show you this one because it's pretty neat. You can drag out a blank sequence like this. You can double click into a sequence, and at the top there's a sequence dropdown which says I want to copy a sequence from a campaign. And you can go ahead and follow along here, drag out an empty sequence from the top where it says copy from campaign, select that, and I'm inside of a sequence right now. And then it says, what campaign do I want to copy from? Hopefully you guys will have less campaigns than me to find this. Well, I want to copy the video 1 sequence from our OVO campaign.
Can you back up just a second?
Absolutely.
Get in there now. Because I deleted video 2, so it's thinking you're cloning.
Yep, so all I did, yeah, and that's a good point. We are going to clone, and that's perfect. So starting from scratch, all you have to do here is drag out a blank empty sequence. Then double click into that blank empty sequence. And we're basically going to tell this sequence, I want you to take on the properties of video 1. So we're going to come up here where it says sequence, and then copy from campaign. And then click and find your OVO campaign, which is what we're working in. And then from there, it's going to ask you which sequence. Oh, whoops. And that's I have multiple OVOs. This is the right OVO for me. You will hopefully only have one. Well, which one do I want to clone? I want to clone the video 1. And I'm going to select that, and it's going to pull in all of those pieces, like so. That's just an alternative. Why this is a valuable way to know is because you can clone sequences from campaign to campaign this way. If you can't hold control and click and drag, you can now clone sequence pieces across different canvases, which is super important.
So you call this video delivery 2 and you change the tag?
Exactly. I'm going to change the tag, and you're right there because that's where we're headed next, right? Obviously, it's not going to be the video 1 tag this time because we're going to change the name of the sequence. We're going to change it to video 2. So everyone go ahead and do that. We're going to change the timer. The drawing says 3 days. You're flexible on that. I'm going to do 3 days because that's the time that we have set. But once you set it to 3 days and this is live, start to monitor, are we getting the responses that we need? Are people engaging 3 days later? If the answer is no, then you might want to play around with when this email gets sent out. Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was something that I did correctly, but when I copied the sequence over, the timer wasn't set for 20 minutes. In my video 1 delivery, it's set for 20 minutes, but the timer was like blank.
Really? So that's something interesting to note. So she said her timer wasn't set to 20 minutes. It's just blank. I'm not sure why that would have happened. We would have to take a look. Maybe it has something to do with publishing or if it was ready or not. We can check it out. But as long as, even so, when you clone something, and this is actually, I'm glad you brought this up. When you clone a sequence, everything starts in draft mode. So even if it was set to 20 minutes, you would have to click in and confirm it again in a clone setting. So all of your clones start in draft mode. You do have to go in and reconfigure and set them to ready. So I'm going to hop in here and I'm going to set it to 3 days, as promised. And I'm going to send it at 9:15 a.m. Eastern. So my first video is going to be delivered at 9:15 Eastern 3 days later. And then you guessed it, we're going to rename video 1 delivery to video 2 delivery. So make sure you rename it or things can get very confusing. And then we're going to double click into the video 2 delivery email and we're going to build it out. Yeah, any day of the week. Yep. Unless you don't want it to go a certain day. But yeah, I don't care if an email goes out Saturday versus Monday, as long as it's 3 days later. So any day. Yep. The tag back here? Yeah, we can take a look at it. All of these tags are just going to be updated to the video in which we're delivering. So this one's going to be video 2 in this case. And then the next one will be video 3. And then the final one will be sales email. Well, you probably, if you created the tags when we created them before, you should have a tag in there that has video 2. If you don't, you can manually create it on the fly. Or you can step outside of the campaign builder and build it real fast. Jeremy, would you mind just taking a look and make sure she has all the tags she needs?
No, I'm good.
Oh, you're good? All right, cool. I want to make sure that's an important piece there. Cool. All right. So let's double click into the video 2 delivery now. And this is, you guys know what to do here. It's copy and paste, and then we need to change the links. But here's the cool thing. We already have our email like before. But remember, there's a couple of things you want to change here. You want to change video 1 to video 2, right, at the top in our header. If you want to have a little bit more personalization, you might even want to change it a little bit more. Video 2 and maybe even say something topical, right? But I'm going to leave it set as is, and I'll give you a couple minutes here to do this. You'll want to swap out, click here to watch video 2, and then insert video name. If you're doing a thumbnail, and I'm going to delete this for now, but if you're doing a thumbnail, you'll want to swap in the new thumbnail. The header, I actually just swapped out video 1 to video 2. But you can adjust that header to preview however you'd like based on the video that you're going to be delivering. So don't feel like you have to use the preview that I'm using there. I just think that's a pretty solid route to go from a default standpoint.
And we should copy the text that's on the Word document.
Yep. And then we're gonna go hop in, and I can do this with you. It wasn't too painful for me, so I'll continue to paste these in there. It looks like our subject line is gonna be your training. Lowercase, love it. Pattern interrupt, right? If you do capital Y, some people are like, oh, this is a normal email subject line. I see that's how many emails I look at. When I see lowercase y in your training, to me, I think this person actually wrote this email. I know that's a crazy thing to say, but to me it looks like, okay, they just hopped on and wrote the email. So
And the focus
that's a
of that,
start.
guys, is very simple. Like you'll see a lot of my emails, I'll put in you or your, but only if it begs a question. So if you see an inbox, if you look in your inbox and the subject line says your training, you're like, my training? What training?
What training? Yeah.
Like what is it for me? So that question that it creates, what is this? My stuff? What? That gets them to open it. And that's how you get the higher open rates, is you make it personal, but make them say, well, is that for me? Is that mine? What is it? Is it real? So things like that really, really work here.
So I'm going to go ahead and grab this. I already have the merge field, so I'm going to skip the first name portion of it. Grab that, scroll down, copy, hop back into the email. I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff. The old text from the clone, delete. And then I'm going to paste the new content. And obviously we want to move the link to the appropriate place, so I'm going to copy that and move it here. I'll give you a second to do all this, but I'm just going to get the final draft up here. And then, of course, the final portion here is to swap the link out, because even though I changed the text to video 2, and please don't be the person that makes this mistake. I changed the text to video 2. I haven't yet actually changed the hyperlink, which is super important, or they're going to go back to video 1 and say, I've already seen this one. This launch is terrible. So you have you have to go back in, and I'm just going to go grab the link, but you already have it on your Word document. Come over to Pages. Video 2. Copy that link. Hop back over and repaste it. And there's bullet points in this one, so I know I definitely want to give you some time here to get in there. Right? And make sure you swap out the name at the bottom there. I just put my name in there. All right, we'll do just another minute. I bet some of you are guessing where video 3 is going to go. If you've already gotten to that point where you're feeling the rhythm, go for it.
Yeah, why don't let's give them the time now. Let's give
Yeah.
you guys 15 minutes to do video 1, 2, and 3, because the process is the same. And if you have questions, this is the time to build this out. So use the time to do the work. And if you have any questions along the way, just raise your hand. You got myself, Jeremy, Lacey, Mike, all on standby for you. Let's take 15 minutes.
I broke my cardinal rule. Make sure you're renaming these, even though we're cloning it. Video 2 delivery, all the way back up at that 30,000 foot view. Then clone video 3, boom. There is one more thing on the form that we need to do. So just eyes up here just for a second if you're working on the content, because I do want to make sure that we get this piece in here. In this OVO opt-in form, just going to double click in. We're going to create a base form. We just need the first name and last name. Yours probably doesn't come with all that stuff initially, which is fine. I have a different default. So first name, oops, not last name, come on. First name, last name. And then on the thank you page, we're not going to, this is very similar to the first campaign we did. We're not going to redirect to a thank you page. We're going to redirect to a web address. So make sure you switch that out. And then what address? Well, Brendan just told us we're going straight to the video 1 because they've opted in. We want to bring them to video 1, which slipped my mind somehow, even though we talked about it a million times. We're going to come in here, and we're going to find our video 1 link, which is already on your Microsoft Word document. Here it is. Grab that video 1 URL and place it in the thank you URL for that form right here, like so.
A lot of people, when they're first starting, they forget that piece. And it's like the most important thing, right? Once they opt in, where do you want them to go? And so make sure you always do that piece, because I've seen campaigns from actually big marketers that they forget that, and it just goes to a default Infusionsoft thank you. And it's like, no, you want to take them right to that video they just said they wanted, right?
Yeah.
Directly to it.
When you get your launch sequence set up and you're ready to go, are you able to do like a test pilot? Because obviously I would think you wouldn't send it to 10,000 people and realize, oh shit,
Yeah, yeah. No, you just totally test it yourself. You have your team test it. You have your friends test it. Yeah, you get it. You go through it.
But do you, when you click publish, I guess it's only reactive when people fill out a form and go through the sequence, right?
Right.
And remember, you can have something fully published and ready in Infusionsoft. If you don't put the code on your WordPress page, the engine's on, the car's in the driveway, but it's not driving yet. So you can turn the engine on and then fill out the form internally in Infusionsoft. All of our forms, you can just test and fill them out right here. And that will run a test as is, and it's not actually live on your website yet. So you'll notice, which is kind of a cool thing, on our code tab here, every one of our forms has this use hosted version section. So you can click on that. Where is it opening? And it pops up that form, and I haven't published it yet, that's why it looks different. But when I publish it, it'll just be first name and email, and you can fill out just as a test right here, and it will function just as it will when you do put the code on your website. So that's a great way to test it.
You need to put the code in WordPress now.
We will, yeah. We need to put the code in WordPress. Is everyone ready to do that? Does everyone have the thank you page set up? Make sure the thank you page is set up, and then the final piece before we do that is we need to publish, right? So make sure everything's published, and I'm going to publish mine right now.
But that link went to video 1, right?
That link went to video 1, yep. Not a thank you page. We're calling it a thank you page redirect, but it's going straight to video 1 in this case. So now that you have that set up, we do need to grab that code just as we did last time. Under code, HTML code unstyled. You can copy that. Remember to get the unstyled, or things will look a little bit wonky.
Sorry, Michael, where did you start off with from that? Went back to...
Once you've published, you want to make sure you're clicking into the form. Remember, just like our LGM campaign, we need to connect this through the site, so we need to grab the code on the form.
On the opt-in.
On the opt-in, yep, the OVO opt-in. And then you'll go to HTML code unstyled under the code tab at the top. So make sure you click that code tab at the top. And once you have that, we're hopping back over to WordPress. We are going to our OVO page. Let me search it over here. I'm not sure the name of it. I'll search blank.
Opt-in.
Opt-in.
Something opt-in.
We'll find it. There's LGM opt-in page with T, right? Is this it?
Yeah.
Yep. So we're going to go into that page. Wah, wah, wah. We're going to scroll down here. And you can see in the raw, where is it here? I need the pencil. Ah, thank you. I'm like, where's that pencil? We have our form code. We're selecting Control A, or is it Command A on an Apple? Can highlight all, and then Control V or Command V will paste. Control A, Control V, and then save changes. What was the question? The opt-in page? Yeah. And so now, once that form code is in there, and Ricky, just let me know, Jeremy's on standby if you need anything. So once that code is in, we're active. We're looking live, meaning the campaign is published. If somebody fills this out right now, if they had the URL to this page, you obviously have to distribute that URL. They could fill that out. Oh, update, of course. The old WordPress gotcha. So yes, make sure you click update as well. Yeah.
Why don't we all take some time to do that step, and then if you have questions, just raise your hand.
I'll come down.